Hey everybody, welcome to Next Gen Speed. My name is Pete, and today I will be assembling the 2020 to 2025 C8 Corvette to trim bezels. I'm going to be adding some carbon fiber to the original trim piece on the steering wheel. If you had purchased some carbon fiber pieces and you just need some help in how to do it, this is exactly what to do. It's a simple procedure. Doesn't take much time. If you haven't seen the disassembly video of how to take apart your wheel, I'll put a link in the description. That way you can go back and then you check it out before you get to this point. Well, once you get to here, all you're going to need is just going to need a T10 tip and maybe a small pick. But first thing you're going to do, you're going to flip it over to the back. And you're going to start off, I would recommend taking a picture of the back of the way that, so you know how the harness is oriented inside here. It's backwards, so you don't want to screw it up and reroute the wires in the wrong spot. So it's not too bad. I like to keep the shape of the wire harness to the factory. That way it's a little easier just to plug in. But first thing you do is you're going to remove this wire harness off the back. All we need for that, we're just going to need just a small pick. I like to use this little 90-degree pick. You're going to go inside there and you're going to remove these little locking clips. It's a little tight, so you got to get behind it. I don't know if you can see that. You get behind the plug or the plug on there and pop out the safety clip, just like that. And then you take the pick, push that release lever, and just push up on the plug. Plug will pop right out. Very simple to do. These will not they will not fit on the other side. So if you do mix them up, they won't fit each other. So you can't screw it up. You can't put the green on the gray and gray on the green. It just won't fit. So just kind of be careful taking them out and don't worry about how they're set up. You can't mix them up. Okay, go to the other side. You're going to do the same thing. Going to go underneath the little clip. If I can get that release lever out. Oh boy. Let's see. Pop it up. Pull the lever out just like that. You remove those bottom ones first. And then you have these little plastic clips on the side here. Just slowly pry them off of there. You don't have to worry about it, just plastic, but you don't want to break them. Also have them, they're tucked in behind these little ears right here. Pop them out of the back there. Same thing all the way around. Remove them, and now you're going to go, just got to be careful because this thing does flex a lot. You do not want to force it. You don't want to break the mounting pieces in there. It's very delicate, so be careful with it. But you're going to try to move the wire harness out of the way, and you're going to go inside the switch, or inside the controllers. You get the front heat controller and stuff. You got the plug right in the back. Same situation with the other ones. Pull your pick inside there, release the lock, and then push that little button and just slowly pry it out. It's kind of hard for fat fingers, so a small pick or a screwdriver is very helpful. Let's see. There we go. A little tight from the factory on that one. And go to the other side. Same thing. Trying to work around the camera, so let's get that plug out. Okay, once you get the harness pulled out, that's pretty much what it is. It's very simple to do, not much to it. Put it to the side, and in the back of the unit, you have 4 screws. You have a T10 there, a T10 there, T10 there, and a T10 there. You're just going to remove those, and it's a simple procedure, and the whole thing will separate. Just take your T10. I recommend hand tools. This is very delicate plastic. If you use power tools, you could break the switches. You don't want to do that, and they're not very tight. So just get a regular tip or Torx tip or something like that, and just take them out nice and gently. And that way, when you tighten them up, same thing. You're going to be a little, you don't want to over torque them and break them. When you get one of them out, it starts to flop a little bit. I like to hold on to it. That way, it doesn't have too much flex, because you do not want to break this. I've broken a couple of them. They snap because all it is just plastic piece. It's really thin plastic, and if you move it too much, you could break it. So just slowly remove it, and just try to keep the slop away from by holding it together. Take the screw out, remove that one, and the buttons come out for the radio controls there. Go on the other side, same thing, and remove that. Be careful, don't lose any of your screws. They're kind of small and they're black. That's why I got this yellow behind, so I don't lose anything. Give a little contrast also for the video. Helps out a little bit. All right, get that out of the way. All right, now we got all our pieces separated. we're going to get this stuff off to the side. All I mainly need is just the switches. So we got them two like that. And it's pretty much, we're just going to take those and we're going to put them inside there. And how you do that, on the back of the controllers, flip it around, you have 3 more T10s. Got one there, and one there. Take those out. Get them out. Once you get them out, it pretty much flip it out and it'll just fall out of there. It's just kind of tucked in because of that plug. And that's pretty much how it is. You take it out, it's got the 3 screws in the back. They're marked left and right, so you can't mix them up. Just be careful with the switches. You don't want to damage them, get some scuffs and stuff like that. Just be careful with them. With the other side, it's the same thing. I'll do a separate video disassembling the switch to show you how to replace the Z button that goes in there. Some of them have different colors. We have red ones, we have blue ones. So I'll do a separate video explaining how to disassemble that piece, so you guys can do that if you get the Z button. But same thing with the other side. Remove the T10s. Don't want to make this video too long, but I just want to make it simple enough so everybody understands what I'm trying to get to. Yeah. Hard working around the camera. Can't see what I'm doing, so be a little patient with me. As you can see, they're not very tight. All you need is just a simple Torx tip. Okay, pull that out, get your switches, get the covers of the trim bezels out of the way, grab the new one. You got to be careful with sometimes these carbon fiber, when they lay the carbon fiber on them, they're a little bit thicker than factory. So in this corner right up here, you get a little bit of a bulk of carbon fiber because the way that they lay it. So it might be a little tighter than the factory ones, but you don't have to worry about it. They usually fit inside. Sometimes they'll be lifted up a little bit. You just got to be careful. If you want to, you can trim it out, but I usually don't need to. It's really not that big of a difference. But what you do is take the piece, take your switch, the part with the plug on it, and you just kind of just go with the corner into that spot. Just kind of push it in place. This was a little tight. Yep. Once it drops, just make sure that corner is recessed inside. And there you go. Once it clicks inside there, everything looks good. Make sure your buttons function. Make sure you're not hung up on any other carbon fiber in the back. That way shows that it's lined up. You flip it around, find your holes, put your screws back in. Oop. Just screw in there. I like to put them in. I don't tighten them up until I got them all in, just to make sure I'm lined up properly. My finger's a little fat. I gotta use a tool for this guy. This corner one's a little tight. There we go. And I get there kind of loose. Go on the other side, make sure that I am seated properly. Make sure it's nice and flush. Everything looks good in there. There we go. Just clip that one in place. Hold it. Make sure it's seated all the way down, and once you screw that one down, it'll hold it in place. That way it's not cockeyed or anything. But it's pretty much, you line it up with the holes and it's pretty good. But sometimes they catch on the sides, so you don't want to have an uneven switch. Don't over tighten them. It's just in the plastic. You crank on it. You don't need very much force on, just enough just to snug. Just snug it up. That's all you need, as long as there's no wiggle in it. You can see I don't want to be flopping around too much, but there you go. Looks very nice and even. I'll do that real quick to the other side. And then I'll assemble it for you guys. I'll let you go. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. Put that switch in. Make sure she's lined up right. Snug her up a little bit. Just enough. Now, you don't want to crank on these. You could break them very easily. There we go. Both completely assembled. They look very nice. Now I'm going to assemble the unit together. Get these out of the way real quick. All right, you're going to take your centerpiece, a little crossbar part, and you're going to take your buttons. As you can see, you can't mix them up. Right and left are pretty much self-explanatory. You can't screw them because the way the writing is, they won't go on the other side. But the way these things are set up, this is going to sandwich between that. You're going to take that part, you're going to put it over the top, or easier would be to put the switch over the top first. You put the switch over the top, hold on to it, and then it gets sandwiched in between those two pieces. You put that inside there, just like that. Hang on to it, go to the back, put your screws in. Get it started up here, big fingers. Oh boy. All right, get that in there. Snug it up just a bit, not too much. Okay, get the other screw in. You just kind of hang on to it so it doesn't fall around you on any of that, and don't let it flex too much. Once you get to where they're starting to get snug, make sure it's nice and even. Hold on to it, make sure everything's nice and flush inside there, and then you can snug them up all the way. Just don't over crank on them. Also, the tendency when it screws into the plastic, as you turn it, it could clip like that and crack the backing out, so you don't want to do that. Just snug, just enough. Just enough when it stops spinning. You don't need to go too far. There we go. No flop, no slop. Looks good on that side. Go to the other one. Put the switch in. Grab the bezel on the other side. Same situation there. Whoop, I'm sorry. First in here, then through the piece. Yeah, I've been doing it 100 times, you still forget, but there we go. It does help with the little electric screwdriver, but I just avoid that just in case. I've broken away too many trim pieces trying to be faster. Not a big deal. Take your time, enjoy the process. And when you get done, you're going to say, this is great, I did a good job. Right, snug that up. Alright, looks good. Everything looks fine. No wiggle on anything. Check all your switches. Make sure you're not hanging up on nothing. Everything looks good. Alright, from there, now we're going to install the harness. Flip it back around. And just remember your orientation. Just remember you're backwards, and this yellow plug plugs into the wheel, so it's got to go that way. So when you're upside down, the plug faces you. So you kind of lay it around like that. You're going to go over the top of these ears, just like that, over the top of those ears. First thing I like to do, actually, I did it backwards. Same situation. I got it plugged backwards. All right, we're going to do it like this. And look at this, is supposed to go on the other side. Yeah, I got the plug backwards. Just make sure. Just like that. And you're going to watch your, first you're going to do your green plug. Plug it into that little switch there. Push it down. Lock. Push the white lock. Go to the other side. The gray one. Lock it down. At this point, now you're going to go, there's that, remember that little plastic hook that we had right there? We're going to tuck in right where the label is. You kind of tuck it in. Here I'd like to take a little, I don't have a needle nose, but I'm going to just be careful with my cutters. Just kind of lift up on the plastic and tuck that wire in. That way to hold it in place. That way you're not binding up when you put it inside the steering wheel. So we're going that way. We're going to plug that side in. The gray plug first. Plug it in there. Reach down, make sure you can grab that white lock. Make sure you lock it. Locks that down. Goes inside that black piece, tucks in around there. Then you're going to go to the other side. Get these guys out of the way. And we're going to plug in that one, the black side. Push the lock. Going to go over the top of there, tuck it into that little ear, and we're pretty much right there, exactly where we need to be. Just remember, you got the paddle wire. You tuck him in the hook here. It's not going to hold, but once you get it onto the wheel, it's going to matter because you want to get that out of your way. You don't want to bind it up between the wheel because it's going to leave a little bit of a bulge there. But at this point, you got everything good. Make sure all your plugs are locked and clipped. Looking good there. These are the plugs for your heating module. If you don't have heat, don't worry about them. If you do, you'll plug them in once you get to that point. But right now, we're flipping it around. She looks good. Plug is oriented the correct way. Airbag wires look good. Just kind of inspect them, make sure nothing got broken on the removal. These look good, no cracks or breaks. All right, and we're good to go. This thing's ready to be installed in a wheel. And if you guys got any questions, you're more than welcome to give us an email, or give us a call, or email us, or check out our website if you want some stuff. You need some carbon fiber pieces, you need some paddles, you need some switches, you need some trim bezels, carbon fiber wheels, all kinds of stuff. We have a lot of stuff. Check it out at nextgenspeed.com, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.